On the 120th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we're going to be talking about Heisman, Mendoza, and filling out our college football playoff bracket. We have our Week 15 NFL Pickems. We have a whole bunch of MLB offseason signings and updates, and then we will be ranking the top 5 oldest NFL QBs of all time. Make sure you use code HatTrick Sports when checking out at w.gg for 10% off your order. Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. HatTrick Sports has hit prime time. Yes, we are doing a late episode tonight. Didn't get to earlier. After most of the games, we just have the Sunday night football game up here. You have the Vikings and Cowboys. But before we can talk about the NFL, we have to talk about college football and Heisman Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza ended up winning the Heisman Award. Good for him. It was kind of a blowout for him, and everybody kind of assumed that Mendoza was going to win the award. I have the votes up here, but yeah, he had a total of over 3,200 votes. In second place, Diego Pavia had over 1,400 votes. So Mendoza did end up winning by quite a bit. Love was down there a little bit and saying he was one of the finalists, I guess. But good for Mendoza. This is big for Indiana. Indiana has had a great couple of weeks, beating Ohio State 13-10 because of that missed field goal. And then you have your QB winning the first Heisman Award in Indiana history. It's great. I have his stats up here. He threw 2,980 yards with 33 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions in 13 games, while adding 240 rushing touchdowns and 240 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns this season, leading Indiana to a Big Ten title and earning the Heisman Trophy. He had a 71.5% completion percentage in passes and had a QB rating of 88.4 and was named AP Player of the Year. So good for Mendoza. Heisman Mendoza, as his nickname, is going to now be forever cemented as Heisman Mendoza. It was a weaker class this year. We've seen years past where we've had guys that were obviously going to win it, but it came down to the last couple weeks for Mendoza here. And yeah, it was a weaker class, but I'm glad that Mendoza ended up winning that award. Yeah. And again, Pavia, he's going to... Or who was it? Was it Pavia? Yeah, it was Pavia who posted on their Instagram story saying, F the voters, family, or all love for family or whatever. That's kind of a sore loser. I'm kind of glad that Mendoza ended up winning after that one. Went over his stats. Let's talk about more college football news. Sherrone Moore, the old Michigan head coach until Wednesday when he got fired, and then a whole timeline of stuff happened to Moore. It was wild. Late afternoon on Wednesday, Moore was informed that he was going to get fired. And we'll go into why he got fired and everything. At 4:10 p.m., the Pittsfield responded to investigate alleged assault. 10 minutes later, there was a team meeting, and 25 minutes later is when the announcement happens of that he was going to get fired. 7:17, that same night, the city of Saline announced that Moore was detained in statement, and that an hour later he was booked into the county jail. What? So what happened was he was fired for having an alleged relationship. Sorry, I don't want to misword. Yeah, an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. So right now he's being charged with 3 criminal charges, one of which is felony, a third-degree felony. A felony, third-degree home invasion, and 2 misdemeanors of stalking in a domestic relationship and breaking and entering. He was released from jail after his court appearance, or after meeting the $25,000 bonds. He faced a judge. Wild. The whole situation is crazy. He says, one second, here we are. He had a relationship with a woman that he worked with for a number of years, and he was cheating on his wife and 3 kids with this woman. The woman ended up breaking up with him on Monday. He entered the house Monday, entered the girlfriend's house, the staff member's house Monday, and I have a wild quote from him here. He said, where's that quote at? He said, I'm going to unalive myself. I'm going to make you watch. My blood is on your hands. You ruined my life. That is a wild statement. So obviously Moore is not there mentally. There's something wrong with him if he's going to his ex-girlfriend's house who he was like cheating on with his wife and 3 kids, saying that. That is wild. So apparently he broke into the house, stalking. This is all alleged. He obviously has the right to due process and everything. It was wild. It's wild. Like, one day you're the head coach of Michigan, who has a bowl game coming up here soon, and then the next day you look like this, like in a jail cell. It's just wild. I guess he was polite in court. It was a video court appearance. He seemed polite, per sources. Yeah, he said he barged his way into the woman's apartment. He went to a drawer in the kitchen and grabbed several butter knives and a pair of kitchen scissors before threatening to take his own life. The prosecutor also detailed that Moore had an intimate relationship with the woman he worked with for a number of years before she ended the relationship Monday. The split prompted a flurry of calls and texts from Moore that the woman did not return. Moore is married to another woman and they have 3 children together. It's wild. The whole situation is actually crazy, and it just got more crazy. Like, at first it was like, oh, they fired him. It's like, whoa, why did they fire him? I can get it. They went 9-3, didn't make the playoffs or anything. It's just crazy. 9-3. You're like, why did they fire him? And then more information kept getting out. Then more information. And then all of a sudden he's facing felony charges. It's crazy. Crazy for Moore. It's just wow. So let's go to the good side. Let's go to the good side of college football. The college football playoffs are starting here in the next couple of days. So I'll be filling out my 2025 college football playoff bracket. You have James Madison playing Oregon. This should be an easy Oregon win. Oh, let me scroll up here. Yeah, easy Oregon win. They're favored by 21.5. I don't know how to fix it, but the college football playoffs, I don't believe, is the best format. Again, if you're having somebody favored by 21.5 playing in a 12-man playoff, that 12 seed should not be in. That's just my opinion, but Oregon is going to absolutely destroy. Now, this next game, so I think Oregon will play Texas Tech. You have Alabama playing Oklahoma. I think this will be pretty close, but I think Oklahoma ends up getting the win. I think Alabama, as of right now, is technically favored, but I think that can switch, or there might not be any favorites here in the game coming up here in the next few days. So Oklahoma will go to play Indiana. You have Tulane playing Ole Miss. Now, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, a lot of stuff going on there, but Tulane, again, like I said about James Madison, I don't agree that Tulane should be in the college football playoffs. I get it. They won the conference, and there has to be some advantage of that, but Ole Miss is going to win by 1 million. Give me Ole Miss to play Georgia. You have Miami playing Texas Tech. Miami sneaking their way into the college football playoffs. I think Notre Dame should have taken that spot, but I'm not here to argue that. Miami ended up getting the win, and they'll get through one round. They're going to be first round exits. Texas A&M is going to end up winning, playing Ohio State. How much are they favored by? Oh, Texas A&M's only favored by 3.5. I think that they'll lose by more than that. All right, let's go back to the top. You have Oregon playing Texas Tech. I think that Oregon wins this, actually. Texas Tech's going to have that first round bye. I think it might hurt them a little bit, especially with how close these two teams are. And I think that Oregon gets the win. You have Oklahoma playing Indiana. Oklahoma got lucky with Alabama. They're going to beat Alabama. That's going to be a fun game. But Oklahoma's going to beat Alabama. Indiana's going to be a different story. Indiana has Heisman Doza, and so Indiana is going to end up getting the win, going to the semifinal. Then you have Ole Miss playing Georgia. Again, Ole Miss going without Lane Kiffin. Georgia, they do have that bye, but this should be a pretty easy Georgia win. Again, especially with all the coaching staff gone from Ole Miss. Ole Miss gets the easy first round against Tulane, but after that, Georgia is going to end up getting the win, and they will face either Texas A&M or Ohio State. Ohio State, if they can make 27-yard field goals, they should not have a problem beating Texas A&M, so give me Ohio State to move on. So now we have the 5, 1, 3, and 2 seed. You have Oregon playing Indiana. Oregon, I think, is going to do good against Texas Tech. They might be able to pull this upset. This is the game that I'm least confident in, but I think that Indiana will get the win. Again, Heisman Mendoza, what can't he do? You have Georgia playing Ohio State. Georgia playing Ohio State. Here's the thing. If Ohio State wins, they would play Indiana, who they just played in the Big Ten championship. Could this be a rematch? Could this be a rematch of the Big Ten championship game of Ohio State playing Heisman Mendoza in Indiana? I don't think the Dogs have it in them. Give me Ohio State. All right, now we have the 1 and 2 seed in the national championship. January 19th, you have Indiana, Ohio State. We've seen this matchup before. I thought Ohio State was going to win the first time. Indiana has Heisman Mendoza, but I think that Ohio State pulls it together and wins the game that's actually important. We all know that Ohio State should have won that game. Ohio State should be Big Ten championship, but no. Big Ten champions, but no, they're not. But they don't want to be conference champions. They want to be national champions. So I do think that Ohio State will beat Indiana this time and win the national championship. So that's my college football playoffs bracket. All right, let's go to NFL Pickems. Again, we're filming this on Sunday night, so all of these NFL games have already gone on. But I made these picks beforehand. I have the proof. It's in an app with in a league. So if you guys care, I have the proof of that, and I'm not just making this up. Let's start it off with the Ravens and Bengals division matchup. Give me the Ravens. You have the Raiders and Eagles. Give me the Eagles. You have the Cardinals and Texans. I will take the Houston Texans. Chargers and Chiefs. You know the Chiefs the Chiefs are eliminated now, but I'm going to speak because of the TikToks and stuff. I don't want all the questions and stuff. But the Chiefs have a chance at being eliminated from the playoffs because of this game, so give me the Chiefs. You have the Bills and Patriots. Give me the Buffalo Bills. Jets and Jags. You have the Jets and Jags. Give me the Jags. Commanders and Giants. The Giants suck. Give me the Commanders. They have a combined of 5 wins before the game started. You have the Browns and Bears. It's in Chicago. Give me the Bears. Panthers, Saints. Again, this close division matchup. But give me the Saints. You have the Lions playing the Rams. You know the Rams are tight in that NFC West matchup, or in the NFC West race. They're going for the Super Bowl this season. They're going to try to make it to the Super Bowl this season, and it's being played in LA. So give me the Rams. You have the Colts and Seahawks. You have Old Man Rivers. Old Man Rivers is playing for the Colts. This should be an easy Seahawks win. Did not end up being an easy Seahawks win, but Seahawks ended up getting the win. Packers and Broncos. Give me the Broncos. You have the Titans and 49ers. Give me the 49ers. Vikings, Cowboys for a little Sunday Night Football action. Give me the Cowboys. And then for Monday Night Football, you have the Dolphins playing the Steelers. I will take the average Steelers. Those are your Week 15 NFL Pickems. All right, like I said, how far are we? 13 minutes into the podcast. Like I said, Week 15 kind of already happened here, and we had a brutal injury. Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL on Sunday, which is today, but by the time this comes out, it won't be Sunday. Tore his ACL. Will be out for the rest of the year. Gardner Minshew is now the QB for the Chiefs. The Chiefs officially eliminated from the playoffs after losing to the Chargers. First time in 11 years that the Chiefs have not made the playoffs. Wild. You go Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl, and then you don't make the playoffs. You're eliminated in Week 15. It's nuts. It's wild. But the Chiefs, just a down year. Overall, just a down year. Kelsey didn't do his thing. Mahomes didn't do his thing. Reed didn't do his thing. The team didn't do their thing. They're not the Kansas City Chiefs, the dynasty that I know. And because of that, not only did they not win their division, they're not even making the playoffs. It's brutal. And now Patrick Mahomes is out for the rest of the season, which granted is only a couple weeks, but he should be back hopefully next season, all healthy and stuff. But it's going to be a little bit more of a setback for them. This is brutal. The Chiefs, what happened? Eliminated from the playoffs. Mahomes out for the season. All right, let's move on to baseball. Winter meetings just took place where all the owners and GMs, mostly just GMs, go down to Palm Beach, Palm Bay, West Palm Beach, Orlando. I think it's Orlando, actually, somewhere in Florida. All the GMs go to Florida, and they talk about, hey, do you want our guys for some other guys? And that is basically what they talk about for about 3 or 4 days. And we have some updates. We have some signings. Let me move over to this tab. Number 1. The best closer in baseball, Edwin Diaz, cue the trumpets, headed to the West Coast playing with the Dodgers. Edwin Diaz signed a 3-year $69 million contract with the Dodgers. Unbelievable. The Dodgers are just signing guys. Just, hey, sign here, you'll win a championship. That's all you got to do to recruit guys for the Dodgers. $33 million a year. Timmy Trumpets, that's what he's known for. Obviously, he got injured in the World Baseball Classic, and he's been a little down ever since. But, he just needs revival in LA. When he went to Los Angeles for his kind of like announcement, inauguration, if you will, I don't know what the right word's, welcoming. I don't know what the right word is for that. But you saw his jersey, and obviously Roy Campanella, he can't wear his number. So he decided to go with the number 3. And the last time I saw number 3 on a Dodgers jersey was Chris Taylor. And granted, Chris Taylor wasn't the best guy in the league, but it's weird seeing somebody else wear the number 3. So Dodgers fans did notice that he was wearing the number 3, but am I recording? One second, I gotta check if I'm recording. Yeah, we're recording. I just had to make sure. We're recording. I just had to make sure. I didn't remember if I pressed recording or not. But yeah, Edwin Diaz, wearing number 3. I'm not gonna say it's disrespectful. Again, Chris Taylor wasn't all that to the Dodgers, but it's just weird. It's weird seeing that. He said he's excited for the Dodgers. He's excited to win. He said it was an easy decision because, hey, the Dodgers went back-to-back. You have Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. You have some of the best pitchers in the league and overall best players in the league. How could you say no to the Dodgers, especially if they're offering you $33 million a year for 3 years? And he's going to help the struggling bullpen. The Dodgers, is no secret, their bullpen was struggling in 2025 and in the postseason. So this will help that. Closing role and to secure the win, because you never know. It could be the 9th inning. Dodgers are up by 4, and their bullpen could have blown it. Tanner Scott, Robrowski. We've seen guys blow it before. I mean, we had Kike Hernandez in the bullpen a few times this year. Not fun. But with the Dodgers signing that, there was another a rumored guy that went to the Dodgers, but as of right now is not with the Dodgers. Tarik Skubal, one of the best pitchers up for grabs. He would have to be traded, but he is one of the biggest trade prospects in the offseason right now as a pitcher. Early in the winter meetings, there were a lot of reports coming out saying that it was basically a done deal. The Dodgers were going to trade for Skubal. They were going to give up a lot of their young pitching, give it to the Tigers. The Tigers were going to hand over Skubal, and then the Dodgers were going to sign a big extension with Skubal because they want a long-term deal with Skubal. You mean you want to win the next 5 World Series with Tarik Skubal. But that never ended up happening. They said that it was basically a done deal, and they were just waiting for confirmation from the owners of from Detroit, and then the Dodgers needed to confirm that Skubal was ready to sign quite a long extension with the Dodgers. Here we are a few days after the winter meetings, and no contract. I don't know. No trade yet. So did we sell? I don't know. Is it just taking longer? Are we waiting on a physical? I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. But, I was told in the first couple days of the winter meetings where all the GMs get together that, hey, it's pretty much a done deal. There's no deal yet, and the GMs left quite a few days ago, 3 days ago, I'm pretty sure, and there's still no trade. He is still likely to get traded. Whether it's to the Dodgers or not, Tarik Skubal is more than likely going to get traded. Let's talk about some big signings this last week. Let's talk about Kyle Schwarber and Pete Alonso. Kyle Schwarber re-signs with the Phillies, $150 million for 5 years of his playing career. Unbelievable. That is a lot of money. This started the ball rolling in the winter meetings. Kyle Schwarber was the first one, and then the dominoes just kind of fell in place. Let me go to the tab here. There is no tab. this is a big signing for the Phillies. The Phillies are still going to go after it. And Schwarber is a big part of that. Runner-up MVP in the NL. Again, you're not going to beat Shohei. But good for Schwarber, good for the Phillies. You get $50 million a year for the next, $30 million a year for the next 5 years. And then the other big signing that I was not expecting, Pete Alonso signs with the Orioles, $155 million for 5 years, $5 million more than Schwarber. I thought that he was going to go to I thought Alonso was going to go to the Red Sox. And when I saw that they were going to a division rival of the Red Sox for $155 million, I was stunned. I was not expecting Alonso to go to the Orioles, but he's in Baltimore. He had his kind of introduction to Baltimore. Should be good. The Orioles, they had a very down year. They were good for a couple years, and then last year they had a horrible year. Maybe they're going to try to get back, and because of that, and maybe this is part of that, signing Pete Alonso. I don't know. Here are just some smaller signings of last week's winter meetings. You have, let's start off with Merrill Kelly. Last year, he played for the Diamondbacks. Then at the trade deadline, he got traded as like a rental piece to the Rangers. And then obviously when that contract was up, which was right now, the Diamondbacks ended up re-signing him $40 million, 2-year contract with the Diamondbacks. Good for the Diamondbacks. They could use the pitching. He was a great pitcher. Again, they just had to let him go. I forget who he got traded for, but it worked out for them because they ended up getting him back in the end. Ahmed Rosario signed with the Yankees, a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. And then let's look up Ahmed Rosario's stats. Ahmed Rosario's stats in 2025. 2025, Ahmed Rosario stats. Yeah, 0.3 WAR. I'm not going to say it's overpriced. $2.5 million isn't all that for 1 year, but I don't think he helps the Yankees as much as people think he does. And then you have Robert Suarez. He signed a 3-year, $45 million contract with the Braves. Good for Suarez, good for the Braves. Sorry, Pods. All right, let's go on to the top 5 oldest NFL QBs. My throat. Obviously with old man Rivers playing for the Colts, it brought up a lot of like, hey, who was the oldest NFL QB? And I have the list here. At number 5, you have old man Rivers. You have Philip Rivers at 44 years old. This is tied for second place. We have 4 guys tied for second place at 44 years old. But yeah, Philip Rivers, because he got back with the Colts, he's now one of the oldest NFL QBs. Number 4, you have Steve DeBerg, also 44 years old. You have where's my list? I need the list. Yeah, Vinny Testaverde. He was an old man. He was also 44 years old as an NFL QB. And then you have Warren Moon, also 44. And then the oldest NFL QB to start in the NFL is obviously the GOAT, Tom Brady. All right, that is going to wrap it up on the 128th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you follow on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Go to shophatricksports.com. Get the best merch around, and we will see you guys next week for episode 129.